All right, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode here of the Wrightway Podcast, live on the Wrightway Sports Network's YouTube channel. I'm your host, CEO Malik Wright, joined by my co-host from the West Coast, Danielle Alameda. How's it going, Dan?
It's going amazing, Malik. I'm excited for this. Let's get it.
Talk about it. All right, so I want to start off recapping some of the games that happened this past week. I want to talk about amazing. I want to say amazing. And I don't say that lightly. I want to talk about an amazing Thursday night football game between the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. What were your thoughts on that, Dana?
Very close game. Obviously, people are making it out to seem like, oh, the Seahawks are just that much better than the Rams, but people seem to forget how that game ended. And it was a very close game, only 1-point game, and people are already knocking off the Rams, saying, oh, the season's a failure. They easily could have won that game. The script could be completely flipped. But what I saw of the Seahawks is a veteran team, a battle-tested team. Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, they've been there before, and it shows that they're going to be a playoff team. And in the playoffs, that is a team to be reckoned with. But at the same time, the Rams, Jared Goff, Sean McVay, they don't have the same spark as they did last year. Todd Gurley, what's going on with him? There's some room for concern there, but we'll see. I think the Seahawks are way more confident and battle-tested team right now.
Yeah, I think that the Rams are getting their legs back up under them, honestly speaking. I think they kind of had a slow start to the season. Mm-hmm. Call it a Super Bowl hangover, could call it Todd Gurley being injured, which I think I can agree with both. But I think the Rams team is starting to, get into season form. People forget there's such thing as mid-season form. I think when you see a team start the season off hot, we automatically think, oh, this team is mid-season form, but then they fall off toward the tail end. Teams like the Rams, they're battle tested, right? They're battle tested because they understand it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. Well, to me, I saw a Rams team. I think if I'm a Rams fan, if I'm the Rams brass, if I'm rooting for the Rams, I think that I look at this loss against the Seattle Seahawks as a positive almost, because you're starting to see the Rams offense start to take shape a bit again. And I think the running game is going to start to come on. I'm not saying Todd Gurley will, but I think the running game is going to definitely carry this offense. So it remains to be seen what the Rams have in store for the rest of the NFL season. Keeping it going on that, let's talk about the Falcons, man. I want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. I want to talk about Dan Quinn's future with the Atlanta Falcons. Arthur Blank, owner of the Falcons, came out and said that his job's safe. He's good. Don't have to worry about him. Talk about it. What do you got to say about that?
That game, first off, Deshaun Watson played absolutely amazing against that defense, the Falcons' injury-riddled defense. But it's more than that. I think it's more than the injuries. It's just the past 2 years they've been saying that. That's what coming in this offseason, it was like, oh, the Falcons, you know what? They're finally healthy. They have the same offense they've had. This is the year, right? They're getting healthy. Everything's perfect. No, they have injuries, but it just seems to be cycle, repeat. And okay, the Matt Ryan plays good, but offensive line's not good, and you can't win every single game in a shootout. It just shows. They put up 32 points. That's great, but this defense absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know what is going on in Atlanta. They look like night and day, look like a totally different team. I mean, since the injury-riddled season a year ago, it doesn't seem like this team can catch a break. Keanu Neal went out with an injury. All of a sudden, it seems like Dan Quinn can't coach defense. It just seems like this football team is undisciplined, and they're getting in their own way. Is it time to move on from Matt Ryan? That's the real question. Is it time to move on from Dan Quinn? That's a real question. I mean, you just rewarded Julio Jones with a big contract, and Julio Jones was definitely worth every single penny, in my opinion, as one of the better receivers in the league. But it's a lot of questions out there for the Atlanta Falcons. They do not look like a team that's on the rise. No. They look like a team that's they're one of my dark horse teams for the trade deadline. I think that they could be sellers, and I think they could be trading some of their guys away. And I know a lot of people probably look at it, and that's probably not a popular opinion, but this team looks like it might have to hit the reset button a little bit. And if not hit the reset button on the head coach, maybe hit the reset button on the quarterback. I mean, we're talking about Matt Ryan, who's survived Mike Smith, who survived. It looks like he's going to probably he's survived most of Dan Quinn's tenure. So I mean, a lot has to be said for what happens in Atlanta. Atlanta's not a team that typically likes to fire coaches, as we saw with Mike Smith overstaying his welcome in Atlanta. But, there's a lot to play out there. But I feel for the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like they're definitely underachieving this year. And I think that this is a team that if they put the pieces all together, I think that they can definitely be a playoff perennial team. Keeping on that front, let's keep it going. Mentioned briefly, Danny Dimes hits a snag in the road, if you will. He suffers his first career loss as a starter for the New York Football Giants. I kind of saw that coming. I figured the Vikings would have a bounce back game. I don't think that the Vikings are an amazing team, but I do think that they're a more experienced team, having been there before. This Giants football team, they need a wide receiver. They need somebody that is going to be an absolute threat, that their defenses are going to have to respect. And right now, Sterling Shepard and some of the guys out there aren't cutting it. So
not going to do it.
They're not going to do it. And that Minnesota Vikings football team is a lot better than what people give them credit for. But I like we said last week on the podcast, like you've said, like I've said, it's all going to come down to the arm of the $84 million quarterback and Kirk Cousins. Danny Dimes, like I said, we were crazy. Not we were, but people were crazy that this football team was going to hit a snag in the road. It was bound to happen. It's part of growing pains of being a starting NFL quarterback. You're going to throw interceptions. You're going to struggle. It's a part of the process. What's that saying? Trust the process.
Trust, baby. Trust them.
Keep it going. The Ravens. The Ravens barely beat Steelers. Prayers definitely go out to Mason Rudolph, who had a vicious hit from safety Earl Thomas, who later apologized, saying that he didn't mean to. Mason Rudolph's already been ruled out for this week. What did you think of that football game, though? What did you think of the elite Lamar Jackson in his Baltimore Ravens?
It's exactly what we've been saying. It's everything. It's like, I think it was more the hype around Lamar Jackson. We know he's been the same quarterback. He's always been. It's more the hype after the first two games. Everyone, MVP, Lamar Jackson, baby. This man's the new MVP. He's better than Mahomes, better than Tom Brady. Then he goes 26 points against the Steelers. And you got lucky. Because the Steelers were driving, get a fumble, and barely win in overtime against the Steelers. I mean, it's Lamar Jackson's not an MVP. He's a good quarterback. He's young, inexperienced, and the defense isn't good. But hey, what do we know? He's an MVP, right?
All I'm saying is, you hate to see it. Told you so. This Baltimore Ravens defense is going to be the thing that's going to hold this football team back.
Thorn in the side.
There's no reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers should have even, with the way we were praising the Ravens, there's no reason why they even should have been in competition with the Baltimore Ravens. Mind you, this is a Pittsburgh Steelers team playing without Big Ben. I mean, the jury's still out on that one. Keeping it going, the Colts.
Colts. Ooh, Colts. that was huge.
Sunday Night Football. That was my shock of the week.
Definitely. Definitely.
One thing I was a little bit harsh on Jacoby Brissett to start the season. I said Jacoby Brissett had some flaws in his game. He still has some flaws in his game that could be ironed out. But guy's consistent.
Very consistent. That's one word for him.
The guy's gonna take you down there. I mean, I know a lot of Colts fans were already checking out, and they were like, we gotta start to look for the draft maybe a Justin Herbert, draft maybe a Tua, maybe some of these other guys and Joe Burrow and this guy and that guy. Maybe, just maybe, you have your guy in Jacoby Brissett. Maybe. It wouldn't be the wildest thing, but Jacoby Brissett definitely shocked me. And the Indianapolis Colts defense was harassing Patrick Mahomes all night.
Yes.
I think Patrick Mahomes is also playing with an injury right now that he suffered in week 1. To me, that he doesn't seem to be healthy all the way. But he's still Patrick Mahomes. He's still putting up some crazy numbers. Still playing great. Still playing like the MVP of this league, in my opinion, this upcoming season. But once again, jury's still out on that one. Keeping it going. Oh, the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Chicago Bears in London. I told you the Alameda. I said weird things happen in London, man. Weird things happen in London. Now here's an interesting stat. Khalil Mack, 0 sacks. I think that's the scale of the game right there. I think you look at it, Khalil Mack was a non-factor. I don't know what that Raiders team was able to do to Khalil Mack, whether it be chips, whether it be, just absolute elite blocking. I mean, this is a guy in Khalil Mack that we all were praising, saying he's unblockable. He's the best pass rusher in football. Well, I mean, the Raiders nullified him, and they kind of put the what do you call it, the formula out there. If you're able to stop Khalil Mack or at least slow him down, you have a real shot at beating this Chicago Bears team, or maybe the Chicago Bears defense isn't as good as we thought that they were without Khalil Mack playing at an elite level. Let me hear it.
All right, the Bears. Okay, like you said, Khalil Mack, when he's a non-factor, everything else goes down. Everything else is magnified. Like the offense of their flaws, everything else is magnified.
I agree.
Because their defense, we've said, this will carry their team. Their offense is way too inconsistent, especially with Mitchell Trubisky out. Way too inconsistent. And I've been saying it. I don't trust this team. And their schedule is absolutely brutal. I looked at it. They have a couple winnable games. They play the Lions twice. I think they win one of those games. They play the Giants, give them the Giants. And then their next easiest teams are the Chargers and the Cowboys. But besides that, they play the Saints. They play the Vikings. They play the Packers. Their schedule, they have the first place schedule. And it's going to show late in the season. I think this offense, with it being way too inconsistent, the defense won't be able to carry it. Yeah. And I'm going to go out there and say they lose or they win less than 8 games. They are a 7-6 win team the rest of the year. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. The offense too inconsistent. It'll show the rest of the year.
Two more games I want to cover. I want to just make brief mention. You were right. Phillip Rivers has not looked like himself. I don't know what's going on, but that Broncos defense, and that Broncos football team was able to eke out their first win. Props to them. It was an absolute great win. Keeping it going though. Two games I want to cover. First game. How about them Cowboys? Let's talk about them Cowboys. Let's talk about how they still can't beat Aaron Rodgers. Let me hear your thoughts on that. What did you think of Dak Prescott, the $40 million a year man, versus Green Bay Packers? By the way, in Dallas.
Very, very slow start. That's what I think it all comes down to, the very slow start. Zeke, obviously, he hasn't looked like himself. Zeke, he truly hasn't looked like the power running back, the workhorse that we've seen, but it's also more than that. It's Dak Prescott.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Sorry to interject.
No, you're good. Hit me.
Could it be the time away from the football team?
I think very well it could be. It's just the lack of communication, just everything with Zeke. But it seems a little more than that. It's just his running style. It's not the same hit you right in your face, Zeke. It's more of just like he's not running right through people. That's just what I've seen from him, watching him. I just haven't seen it, and it shows in his stats so far. But Dak Prescott,
money make it different.
Money make it different. $40 million quarterback. It shows.
I'm talking about Zeke.
Oh,
I'm
Zeke?
talking about Zeke. Money make it different, I guess.
What do you mean?
Zeke got paid. You said he's not the same type of running back that you're seeing. Maybe
it very well could be, because you just don't see the same tenacity in his game. Personally, running the ball, you watch him. Hopefully, I'm a huge Zeke fan. Hopefully, he'll turn it around. But go out there, watch the next game. Go watch how he runs. I just don't see it. I don't see it. But what?
Yeah. I mean, listen. I don't want to continue to beat up on the Cowboys. All I'm saying is, I said it last week on the podcast, the more they struggle, more Dak Prescott, number 4 under center, is inconsistent. People are going to start to question. Is he our guy? Is he the guy of the future? And I say it's real, say they shouldn't question it. Do I think Dak is going to get paid? Yes. Do I think he's going to get paid by the Cowboys? Yes, I do. Because what are the alternatives, right? Exactly. So, but as far as him making a case as to why he should be getting paid $40 million a year, he's not making a strong case right now. That's 2 weak showings back to back. I understand the Packers defense is real. I understand the Packers defense is a good defense. It's one of the better defenses in football this year. Nobody saw that coming, even though Mike Pettin is a phenomenal defensive coordinator.
But still, it's
a question that's going to be posed.
If you're getting paid, if you want to get paid, these are the games. You can't just say, "Oh, Packers are good. I won't play good." These are the games you need to win if you're a $40 million quarterback. No question.
If we're paying you $40 million, you're a franchise quarterback.
You're winning
right
that
now.
game.
Dak Prescott isn't looking like a franchise quarterback. He's looking like a bridge quarterback. That's what he's looking like. But I'm keeping it going. Let's cover the last game of the week. The Cleveland Browns. Talk about those Cleveland Browns. Talk about the Super Bowl champions. Cleveland Browns.
Man.
The Cleveland Browns lose to the San Francisco 49ers. And I got to be honest with you guys. I watched a few plays. I didn't even bother watching the whole game.
Couple.
Let me tell you why. I don't even think I finished the drive. I told people what was going to happen. And then I went back and I did my film review, did my film study like I always do. And exactly what I said was going to happen, happened. That team harassed the defensive line, that front seven harassed Baker Mayfield all night. Nick Bosa absolutely tormented him. He was living in Baker Mayfield's head all night. And it showed. It showed. Listen, I said to you guys a couple weeks back, one day, we're going to have a conversation about how Baker Mayfield was Colt McCoy with a personality.
Could that
But we're not going to have that conversation. We're not going to have that conversation today. I'm gonna let it slide. But we have Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb put up 3 points. Let me tell you something. The next two stretches, and I'm the one that had to make you realize.
No, okay,
I'm the one that had to make you realize, Alameda, in the beginning of the season, you were very high on the Browns in the beginning of the season. And then you and me were talking about it, and I had to show Alameda the light, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that I said was going to come to pass came to pass. I said, listen, it's a first-year head coach. Because you were high on them. You were.
Yeah.
I said, it's a first-year head coach. I said, it's a sophomore quarterback. I said, the first thing, people were crowning them champions, and I said, listen, but before you crown them champions, you got to get to the playoffs. You can't talk about it's almost like boxing. You can't tell somebody, I'm going to knock you out in the 8th round, and you've never been to an 8th round. Same thing with football. You can't say we're going to be in a Super Bowl. You can't have your fans getting tattoos of Super Bowls, and you never even made it to a damn playoffs under this regime. Freddie Kitchens, rookie head coach, all-star coaching staff. People forget the defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns is Steve freaking Wilkes, one of the best defense coordinators in football previous years before he took over the Arizona Cardinals. And we see what's happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Monken, one of the best offensive coordinators in football, not even calling damn plays. He's the reason why Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the best passing offense last year.
Yeah.
Man's not even calling damn plays. And people want to tell me, oh, no, on paper, we great. We're good. Yeah, everything says you're good. Oh, wait till we get Kareem. That's the new excuse I'm hearing. Wait till we get Kareem Hunt. Excuse me? Listen, I said to you, Alameda, I said, we're all looking at Odell Beckham. Ooh. We're looking at Jarvis Landry. Ooh. We're looking at Nick Chubb, right? But I said, in the meantime of them getting all these impact players, they sacrificed the biggest thing on offense, that offensive line. They traded away their best offensive lineman, like nobody even talked about, Kevin Zeitler. Nobody talked about it. They traded away Kevin Zeitler. I've always said the Browns' defense was going to be good. I said, but that offensive line is going to be the downfall to this football team. Now they're praying, they're hoping, they're calling. They're calling the Washington Redskins for Trent Williams. They've been calling them. The Washington Redskins aren't budget. They're not trading him. They're begging. They need help on the offensive line. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? What did I tell you, Alameda? Beginning of the season, I said they got 1 year. 1 year to get this thing right. If they don't, the ship will wreck. Mark my words.
Let me cut you off real quick.
Sure.
Like you said, 1 year. How about half a year? Give me a count. 2-3, right? 2-3 right now. Okay, whatever. Seahawks, Patriots. Next 2 games, they played the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Easily, they could go 2-5, right? Okay, let's not worry. We still got Odell. We still got Jarvis, right? 2-5, Malik. Do you know what that fan base is gonna do? And then, hear me out. You got the Broncos and Bills. Imagine those defensive lines against that offensive line. If you go and lose to that Broncos team and drop to 2-6, so that game is in Denver, I believe. 2-6. I guarantee you at 2-6, half a year, that's 8 games, everything will fall off the wheels. If they lose those 3 games in a row, everything will fall off the wheels. That's why they need, after the Patriots game, there is no room for error. Absolutely none for this team.
I'm going to tell you like this. So I'm going to advise the Cleveland Browns right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to advise what the Browns should do right now. Freddie Kitchens needs to turn over play calling duties to Todd Monken. That's what needs to happen. Like as of 2 hours ago, as of yesterday, that's what should have happened. At halftime yesterday, that should have happened. Freddie Kitchens needs to turn over play calling duties right away. Right away. It's no reason why this team is underperforming. It's no reason why this team should be underperforming. Right? You got Baker Mayfield, the young stud at quarterback. You got Nick Chubb. You got Odell. You got Jarvis, and you're underperforming. You got a very good slot receiver from Charlotte. You've got the weapons, right? And you're underperforming. The defense is doing a good enough job, I guess. They're keeping you in games. They're not, making you lose by 50. So that needs to happen right away. Because if that doesn't happen, what that looks like to me is one thing I've known about this Browns ownership, Jimmy Haslam. They're impatient.
Very impatient.
They're impatient.
Very impatient.
And I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm willing to make a bet with you.
Let's hear it.
If the Browns don't turn this around, I think John Dorsey could get fired. Remember, guys, this is the exact. But before you disagree with me, everything I say has reasoning behind it.
Where did he get fired from before? Where? Tell me.
He was fired from the Kansas City Chiefs. He drafted Kareem Hunt. He drafted a lot of these players that the Kansas City Chiefs have now. But you know what the one knock on him was?
What?
They couldn't get the job done. Nobody has ever discredited John Dorsey for being able to build a roster. He's always been able to build a roster everywhere he's been. What the reason why people discredit John Dorsey is because John Dorsey isn't able to get the job done. Now, granted, it's not his job to coach. It's not. But remember, he hired Freddie Kitchens. He decided to let Greg Williams walk out the door. It was his parent. We gave you Kareem Hunt. Well, in a few weeks. We gave you Odell Beckham. We sacrificed our future for you because we believed in your vision, John Dorsey. Well, let me explain something to you. If John Dorsey gets fired, you know who takes back over heading decisions again? Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam, he fires Freddie Kitchens. Why? Because Freddie Kitchens wasn't his guy.
And then that's when everything else.
But we're looking at the wrong people right now. We should be looking at Jimmy. We should be looking at John Dorsey. Because the same sins, the same ghosts that followed him are starting to follow him in Cleveland. Somebody actually brought it up to me today. They said, hey, listen, if the Browns have a losing record, do you think they trade Odell Beckham? I said, absolutely not. There's no way they're going to trade Odell Beckham. I don't know. Mr. Beckham forced his way out of there. He could force his way out of there. The marriage between him and Jarvis Landry, they envisioned the LSU days. It's not looking like that. Especially, it's only so much Odell is going to keep quiet, about not getting targets and different things of that nature before he starts, he starts to request a trade. All right, keeping on a couple other news, guys, before we wrap it up here. Jay Gruden gets fired as the Washington Redskins head coach. Saw that one coming. I said it last week. I spoke to my guys in Washington who looked at me and they said, that man is gone. Sayonara. It's done. It's a wrap. Tie in the bow. His career as the Washington Redskins head coach is over. The Redskins are the people that leaked that video as well of Jay Gruden smoking and different things of that nature. They need an excuse to get rid of the guy. I mean, it's a classless organization. Dan Snyder, they should be ashamed of themselves. There's a lot to play out still.
I definitely agree. Classless. That's one thing because I did some research and I saw something. The amount of head coaches they've had guys who are Super Bowl winners. They brought in guys who are organization favorites, and they failed to get the job done. Mm-hmm. And it's exactly like it's classless. And it's just everything about that organization. What happened? Jay Gruden, who did you want as quarterback? he didn't want Haskins. But what happened? The owner wanted Haskins, and he completely overruled. Like, you need to let the football guys do what the football guys do. The owner, Jay Gruden is a football head coach. He knows what he's doing. And if he doesn't want a guy, you can't just go completely against your head coach. It just doesn't work like that. Classless organization.
Absolutely. It's a lot to be said. But guys, let us know down in the comments what you think about Jay Gruden being fired and different topics that we talked about today. LMA, before we wrap it up, I want to talk about this week real quick. I want to ask you a quick question. What is your upset of the week?
Pick one upset of the week. Ooh, let's take a look at this real quick.
The week.
Depends what you call an upset, but I definitely think it's a stretch, but this Lions team going into Green Bay, I think that could very well be an upset. I think right now, if I had to bet on one upset, I'd bet on that. Or hear me out real quick. The Rams beating the 49ers. I don't know if that's an upset. Would that be considered an upset? I think whether it's an upset or not, I think they can easily knock off the 49ers because they're playing at home. 49ers are 4-0. I'd pick the Rams in that. What about you?
My upset of the week.
Don't do it.
I didn't say anything. Danny Dimes.
You're doing it.
The New York Football Giants are going to beat the New England Patriots on Thursday Night Football. You heard it here first. The New York Football Giants will beat the New England Patriots on Thursday Night Football, thus growing the legend of Danny Dimes. And the same thing I told Alameda. I can't explain it. I don't know why. I don't know where. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. But trust me, the football guys are shining down on the New York Football Giants and Danny Dimes. This will be the notable win in Danny Dimes' tenure. And don't let that man say Barkley play like he's planning on playing. I think the New England Patriots suffer their first loss to Daniel Jones, the New York Football Giants, and you'll see Eli Manning sitting on the sideline smirking because he's had a lot of success against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have here live on the Wrightway Sports Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, follow us on Instagram at TWSNet. Follow me on Instagram, Wright Report. That's WRIGHTREPORT. Follow Alameda at
Alameda_views. And just know we are here for you.
Sure. He's so corny, isn't he, guys? But anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining us. Remember, as always, guys, there is only one way, and that is
the right way.
The right way, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great night or great morning or great afternoon, whatever time you watch.